Hi everyone, I'm Charissa.Willow with Charissa.Willow Mixed Media Art. In this video, I'm going to show how I made this whimsical woman in the galaxy background, inspired again by the Jane Davenport's Beautiful Faces book. If you saw my last video, you saw how I made this galaxy background, and then I told you that I accidentally cut it too small for my project. So I came up with this idea to use the additional background. Again, I was inspired by the Beautiful Faces book by Jane Davenport. The supplies I used for this project were a plastic scraper, a mat, some watercolor paper, a paper that I used for runoff from gel plate printing, this tiny text called Ideology by Jim Holtz. This has a bunch of inspirational quotes on tiny little stickers, an inexpensive watercolor set, 2 watercolor brushes and a craft brush, some watercolor pencils, a scissors, and some Mod Podge. Here I have already started a sketch using watercolor pencils. I don't like her nose as is, so I cover it with water and try to soften the appearance. The water activates the watercolor pencils and helps to remove some of the dark line. Next, I go in with watercolor to start to add some color to her skin. I love the watercolor because it makes such soft highlights and shadows. Next, I go in with pink and purple watercolors to add depth and body to her hair. I go back in with watercolor pencil to add some more fine details. I then go in again with watercolor until I have the hair the way I want it to look. Next, I alternate using a white gel pen and a white Posca pen to create some highlights in her face and whiten up the whites of her eyes. Next, I go in with a black ballpoint pen to darken up and sharpen up certain details of her face and hair. I then cut her out from the watercolor paper so I can attach her to my galaxy background. I love the way she looks against this galaxy background, but I decided I want her to be more than just a face and hair. So I used this scrap paper that I had gotten from gel plate runoff, and I had also tested some stamps on. I used this to create a dress for her, and I cut it out from the scrap paper. This scrap paper is rice paper, which is really nice for collaging because it's very durable, but it also has a slight transparency to it. I decide where I want the dress to go, and then I use Mod Podge to attach it to the watercolor paper. I then come in again with a black ballpoint pen to give her some arms, so she's more than just a face and a dress. I come back in with the watercolor to replace her hair where I had covered it up and to add skin tones to her body. Next, I fussy cut the lady so I can attach her to my galaxy background. I use this cardboard frame like a little window so I can see what she will look like as a 4x6. It helps me to decide exactly where I want to place her in the background. Once I decide exactly where I want her, I use Mod Podge to attach her to my background. In the Ideology sticker pack, I find the perfect quote for this picture. Shine like the whole universe is yours. After cutting and arranging this sticker, I am finished with my project. And here is the final project. I hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel and follow me on social media. You can find me on Facebook at Charissa.Willow Mixed Media Art or on Instagram at Charissa.Willow. So go out today and shine. Shine like the whole universe is yours.